So, ever wonder why some people just seem to get ahead in life while others keep spinning their wheels? Like, we all know folks who have amazing ideas, big dreams, maybe even more talent, but they never seem to get anywhere. And then there are people who just keep showing up even if they're not the smartest in the room or the most prepared, but somehow they make it. Things happen for them. You know what makes the real difference? Not IQ, not resources, not luck. It's action. Yep, good old-fashioned, unglamorous, often messy action. The ability to move before you feel totally ready. To do the thing while your brain's still shouting, "Wait, we need more research." Today we're diving into why action, simple, consistent, imperfect action, is the real game changer. If you've been stuck in your head, overthinking, waiting for the right moment, this one's for you. Let's go. Part 1. Overthinking is the enemy of progress. Let's be real. Most of us don't fail because we tried and it didn't work. We fail because we never started in the first place. We get trapped in this loop of overthinking. We tell ourselves we need more time, more clarity, more confidence. We play out every possible outcome in our heads until we've talked ourselves out of even trying. But here's the thing. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. You don't think your way into progress. You do your way into it. You figure it out while you're moving. You adjust as you go. You make smarter choices because you started, not because you waited until you had a perfect plan. Think about it. How many times have you procrastinated on something that took 10 minutes to do, but 10 days to worry about? Action cuts through the noise. It shuts up the inner critic. It builds momentum. And honestly, the first step is almost never as hard as we make it out to be in our heads. Even something as simple as cleaning out your closet or sending that email can shift your whole day. You go from being passive and stuck to someone who's in motion. And the moment you're in motion, your identity starts to shift. You're no longer someone who wants to get organized. You're someone who's doing it. The more you act, the less power fear holds. Because fear hates momentum. It thrives on stagnation, on indecision, on the safety of the hypothetical. We overestimate how much energy things take when often the doing itself gives us energy. We spend hours worrying about something that takes minutes to actually complete. This is your brain tricking you into inaction. So, if you're feeling stuck, ask yourself this. What's the tiniest possible action I could take right now? Then go do that. Doesn't matter how small, it matters that you moved. Take a walk and make that call. Write that first sentence. Open that course. Turn the idea in your head into a tab on your browser. Once you're moving, everything changes. Part 2. Stop obsessing over the best way. Just do it your way. We've all been there. Endlessly Googling the best method, the most efficient system, the ultimate hack. You want to start working out, and suddenly you're watching 17 YouTube videos comparing strength versus cardio. You want to launch something, and you're buried in podcasts about marketing funnels. And what happens? Nothing. You learn a lot, but do nothing with it. Here's the truth. Execution beats theory every time. You don't need the perfect strategy. You need a starting point. You need to pick something that's good enough and start experimenting. Learn by doing. Learn by messing up. Learn by realizing, oh, this isn't quite right for me, and pivoting. Because guess what? Even the best strategy is useless if it lives in your notes app and not in the real world. And here's the real kicker. Most people who become successful didn't start with the best way. They just started with any way. They learned the best way along the way. It's like learning to ride a bike. No one ever figured it out by reading articles about aerodynamics. You get on, wobble, fall, and try again. Eventually, it clicks. The same goes for anything worth doing. Want to start freelancing? Take one client, mess up a bit, fix it, learn. Want to start making videos? Don't worry about lights and scripts. Film one, see how it feels. We put too much pressure on doing things the right way, when in reality, doing it your way will teach you more than any tutorial ever could. Your way is good enough to begin with, and the only way to find your best way is to start anyway. Give yourself permission to experiment. Give yourself permission to try things out and be imperfect. You don't need to be perfect to be impactful. You need to move. You need to try, and then try again. Smarter. Part 3. Action attracts opportunity. This is the part no one tells you. Opportunity doesn't come before action. It comes after. You show up, you create something, you take a risk, however small, and because you moved, something moves toward you. You meet the right person, you get feedback, someone notices, a door opens. But none of that happens if you're still standing in the same place, getting ready. Most people are waiting for permission, a sign, a green light. But what if the green light is something you trigger by taking a step? Let's put it this way. Action is like walking through a foggy road. You don't get to see the whole path from the start, but every time you take a step, the road reveals a little more. It might reveal a new connection, a mentor, or a small win that boosts your confidence. You might get invited to something just because you showed up once, or someone might recommend you simply because you posted about what you're doing. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards momentum. And momentum doesn't come from more thinking, it comes from movement. One email sent could lead to a job offer. One tweet could spark a conversation that shifts your path. One act of creation, one blog post, one prototype, each is a signal to the world that you're open for business, that you're ready. So ask yourself, what small move could you make today that sends that signal? Start small, start now, start before you're ready. Part 4. You get better by doing, not waiting. Here's another myth. You need to be good at something before you start. Nah, you get good because you start. That's it. Nobody's first video, first podcast, first business, or first book is amazing. And if it is, well, that means they waited way too long. You're supposed to suck at the beginning. You're supposed to be awkward. That's literally how learning works. But the more you do, the more natural it becomes. Action builds skill. Reps build confidence. You don't become a runner by reading about running. You become one by lacing up your shoes, wheezing through that first mile, and doing it again tomorrow. Want to become a good speaker? Start with one awkward recording. Want to build a following? Post one imperfect piece of content. Then another, then another. Every cringe piece of work is one step closer to mastery. Every awkward attempt is proof you have the courage to try. There's a magic in showing up again and again, especially when you don't feel ready. You develop thick skin. You gain resilience. You prove to yourself that failure isn't fatal, it's foundational. Stop thinking you're behind. Everyone starts somewhere, and one day you'll look back at your first steps and realize they were more powerful than you thought because they set everything else in motion. Part 5. Consistency over intensity. Look, big dramatic action looks cool, it's flashy, it gets likes. But the stuff that really moves the needle, that's the quiet, boring, consistent kind of action. 10 minutes a day, showing up even when you don't feel like it, noticing when you're making excuses, and choosing to move anyway. Consistency compounds. One action won't change your life, but 1,000 small ones? That's how everything changes. People underestimate what they can do in 6 months because they overestimate what they should achieve in 6 days. Lower the bar, make it easier to win, build the habit of doing. That's how you build momentum, and momentum makes everything easier. There's a certain magic in simply continuing, showing up on the hard days, not needing to be perfect, just present. One day leads to the next, and soon you look up and realize you've come a long way. Discipline isn't about being a machine. It's about making one more choice to move forward again and again. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, invisible, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. If you want to go far, go steady. If you want to change your life, change what you repeat. Show up so often that not showing up feels weirder than doing the thing. The work doesn't have to be revolutionary every day. It just has to be done. That's how you create transformation, one small, steady action at a time. Final thoughts. You don't need permission. Just start. Here's the wildest part of all this. You're probably already holding the idea that could change your life. You've already got the vision. You've already replayed it in your head 100 times. What you don't have yet is the muscle of starting, of following through, of getting uncomfortable enough to move. But that's okay. You can build that. Starting today, not next Monday, not when the stars align, not when you feel ready. Today. What's one thing, just one, you could do today to move 1% closer to what you want? Not the whole plan, just the first 10 minutes, just the first move. Because success doesn't happen in your head. It happens in motion. So go, do something. Start messy, stay messy, adjust as you go. But whatever you do, don't wait. The future isn't promised, but this moment is. You're closer than you think. You've got this.